Good evening, and welcome to World Affairs Today. Here's your essential briefing on the most impactful global developments of January 27th, 2026. Major stories shaping geopolitics, economies, and security worldwide. Tonight we cover Russia-Ukraine conflict intensifying this winter, U.S. trade moves with South Korea, historic India-EU free trade agreement, global diplomatic engagement with China. Let's dive in. Today's top story remains the Russia-Ukraine war, now in its 1,433rd day of conflict. Russian forces launched drone and missile attacks in eastern and northern Ukraine, severely impacting Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city. Power infrastructure was hit hard, cutting electricity to a large portion of the population amid freezing winter conditions at -13 degrees Celsius and below. The humanitarian toll continues to mount. Meanwhile, political debate is growing around a possible peace framework. A report from the Financial Times suggests that U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine may be tied to territorial concessions in the eastern Donbass region, a move that has drawn sharp criticism from Kyiv, which insists it will not cede territory. The White House has denied pressuring Kyiv to surrender land, stating its role is to facilitate dialogue, not impose terms. Why this matters? This story remains the most consequential global security issue today, a high-intensity war in Europe with deep implications for NATO cohesion, European energy, and winter preparedness. Peace negotiations going forward. Stay with this conflict. It affects security and politics around the world. In another high-impact development today, U.S. President Donald Trump announced significant tariff increases on South Korean products, hitting automobiles, lumber, and pharmaceuticals. Trump said tariffs on specified Korean imports will rise to 25%, citing delays and failures by Seoul's legislature to fully approve a previously agreed trade deal. South Korean stock markets reacted sharply, with auto and industrial shares falling. This move highlights a resurgent trend of trade leverage as a political and economic tool, strategic pressure on allied economies, rising friction in U.S.-Asia commercial relations. With Trump already at odds with several allies on tariffs and policy, this latest announcement adds to global economic uncertainty. In a major diplomatic and economic breakthrough today, India and the European Union concluded negotiations on a comprehensive free trade agreement, FTA, after nearly 18 years of discussions. Leaders from both India and the EU are expected to officially announce the deal today in New Delhi, following Republic Day celebrations. The pact is expected to cover goods, services, and investment. Key sectors such as textiles, leather, marine products to gain zero-duty access to EU markets, while India will make concessions in areas like automobiles and wines. Why this matters? This agreement is being described by some experts as a mother of all deals for global trade, a milestone that could deepen India's integration into global value chains and strengthen Europe's economic ties with Asia. Another major international development today comes from London and Beijing. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is visiting China, the first such trip by a British premier in years, in an effort to thaw relations and expand economic cooperation. Starmer met with Chinese leadership including President Xi Jinping, focusing on trade, technology cooperation, and financial services. This visit comes as U.S.-China tensions remain elevated. European allies weigh their own China policy, and domestic critics in the UK raise concerns about human rights. Today's visit highlights how nations are reassessing alignments in a complex multipolar world. What ties these major developments together is a theme of global uncertainty and strategic recalibration, security and war, trade friction, economic integration, diplomacy balancing. These stories show that world affairs today are not isolated events. They are interconnected. Today's biggest developments reveal a world in motion. Conflict persists alongside renewed negotiations. Trade policy is becoming a front line of strategic competition. We will continue to monitor these stories as they evolve and bring you timely updates. This is World Affairs Today. Thank you for watching.